Hello. Hello. Good evening, and welcome to another live edition of the CantinaMX podcast. We are broadcasting live tonight during the second half of the 2019 Gold Cup semifinal match between Mexico and Haiti. And currently 0-0 in the 55th minute between Mexico and Haiti. I sound like Torre when I just start just using inflections on one word, like everyone's favorite, Simao Sabros. Anyway, my name is John Jagood. Happy to have you with us. As always, joining me out in the West Coast is Joel Aceves from Irvine, California. Joel, how are you?
Doing good, John. Doing good.
Yeah.
Here, missed out on the game. I was supposed to go to Glendale, but no se pudo.
No se pudo.
Just like Messi, no se pudo.
Yeah. You turned into Capito Arellano when you when you head on that way. No, I understand. You know this. We don't get paid to do this, so at least not officially.
Yeah, it made it a bit more difficult the whole midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was just me desanimé al último.
But that's okay. That's okay. Well, we still love you. I know that so like you said, it's a little harder midweek to go to one of these. So I certainly do understand. It's a 0-0 between Mexico and Haiti, and I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm going to walk away impressed from a team at the end of this match, win or lose, it's going to be Haiti.
Yes, sir.
They lack the polish of a seasoned international side. I mean, they're making a lot of just unforced errors, like knocking balls on the side. But I mean, the minute that they get an opportunity to hit Mexico, pounce on one of their mistakes, they do, and it is full speed from then on out from the entire Haitian side. And I mean, and that has been the Mexico's kryptonite for as long as I've been watching them. So it's certainly it poses a very challenging match, and the longer the Mexico doesn't score, the more that those little counterattacks that Haiti spring, become more and more nerve-wracking. If you're a Mexico fan, I guess I would say. So we'll see how this one plays out.
Well, minute 57th, and they're holding on to the scoreless draw. John, what can you tell us about your boys, Curacao?
Well, Curacao did not. They held their own. They played relatively well against the United States. They did not win, however, and that's the important thing. But I think that I think Curacao has sent a message that they are a team that they're going to have to people are going to have to deal with, not just in the whatever round of qualifying they had before the Hex, but I think even in the Hex. And,
yeah, they've definitely shown improvement.
Well, they gambled on some players that have Curaçaoan descent, and some pretty talented players. I mean, and in a very short period of time, have armed a squad that could be, like I said, I've been talking about for the past couple of years, a team that can certainly compete in CONCACAF. And obviously we saw that in this Gold Cup. I mean, when you're playing the host nation and you're a country that the size of half of our island or whatever it is, just super tiny, and you compete with them, al tú por tú, then that says a lot. So
nice pass right there from Mexico.
Rodolfo Pizarro has certainly been dealing. Unfortunately, the same story has held true for Mexico as it has for almost as long as I've been watching. they just can't make that last play to score the goal, and that has certainly been the story tonight. I mean, it's not been for lack of chance. And I'm not saying that they're generating like sitters and missing them. I mean, they're generating decent chances. They've been unlucky. They haven't been able to put one on frame just yet. They've had a lot of opportunities, but only one shot on goal. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yes. I was going to tell you, Jon, with the League of Nations, That's where some of these teams from the Caribbean, even Canada, I think that's where they could build from what they did here in the Gold Cup,
Well, it's already
which
started.
is
I mean, that's some of these
yeah,
Caribbean teams, they've already been in the Nations League, so they've already
yeah,
played many more games than they would have, before the Gold Cup. So it certainly is like it helped Bermuda for sure.
yeah. Because before you just had they just had the Gold Cup. Whoever was lucky enough to get into qualifier to the Hex, and that was it.
Well, they also
Um,
have the Caribbean Cup, but I mean that's just a once every either 2 years or 4 year tournament. So there's
yeah, no,
nothing
but I
much.
mean Caribbean Cup. It was like you don't get to go up against some of the stronger teams, you
Right.
know. But so there's talk.
Oh,
Oh, injury for Max, 60th minute. It looks like it's guy's bleeding profusely from the back of his head. Doesn't look too serious though.
Chaka is walking up. He's walking off like a man. Just covered it. See what happened. I think it took a taco to the head.
A knee as well.
Oh,
Wow.
ouch.
Yeah. So Mexico down one man while Chaka gets stitched up. Where were we, John?
We were talking about the Caribbean Cup and how Caribbean teams have had to qualify in the Gold Cup, and then the fact that they just don't have any other
Nice. Good memory.
competitions to play in. So they just
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember now. Thank you for clearing that up. So there's talk of expanding the Gold Cup.
to what, the 24 teams.
Yeah, just to give some of these. I don't know. I don't think I would mind. 24 is a good number.
24 is a good number, and it's that'll allow the Guatemalas back in, and
You read my mind. I was just about to say that. You 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 completely read my mind. I was like, hey man, how else are we gonna get, the Chapinas in there? And yeah, that could help them as well. I mean, I know we joke about it, but those federations need these type of tournaments. They'll get the money because it's money from TV sponsors and local sponsors and whatnot. So yeah, when you're like Guate and you missing out on these tournaments, that's a lot of money that their FA is not making.
I would actually, instead of going 24, I would just do 20, but I would do four groups of five, and then that way everyone's guaranteed 4 games.
Wow, well that does sound interesting.
And then you have the top two, and then it would make second place a lot more. Well, Chaka's going to go on with.
He looks like he's gonna go swim the.
That's right. He's going to swim the English Channel. They're going to grease him up.
He has the what is that cap called? Skull cap.
The swimming cap, skull cap. Yeah.
Oh man, in that heat, he wouldn't mind. He wouldn't mind. But corner kick for Haiti, 62nd minute. Badly, it's a badly taken. And yeah, their cruces aren't that good. They're
Yeah. But
from
see,
the.
that's the thing, though, is that one of these days, one of those cruces is going to be good.
He's gonna be good.
And
They're
so I'm being serious. I mean, even Gringo Castro. Oh, we have an injured Mexican player, and
another one, dropping like flies. Um,
I think he's going to be okay though. He's walking all right because
yeah, could have.
he swung and missed, and
Oh,
it looked like he'd like hurt him, like
well,
like something popped. But I think he's going to be okay.
Haiti again down the left and another bad cross. Yeah, they're from the school of what is it? The school of Layun. Who
The
was?
No,
I'm
Gringo
confusing.
Castro.
Not Layun. Who?
Gringo
Gringo
Castro.
Castro. Yeah, is that? Oh man, I that guy had the crossing skills of a AYSO under 12 kid. They're horrible. I don't know how he got so far, but he did. So
I'm I'm
Mexico,
I'm gonna wonder how upset Adidas is going to be with Chaca Rodriguez's Nike skull cap that he's wearing right now. We'll see how
does
how.
they have the Nike sign?
Oh yeah. So we'll see how how that plays. Yeah, so I the Joel, they had a really good 2015 Gold Cup. They
Oh
didn't
yeah,
the
there it is.
finals.
There is the Nike. Sorry for that.
Sure.
Right down the side. Okay, as you were saying, Yon.
Yeah, I think they made the Gold Cup. I think they made the quarters in the last one, if I'm not mistaken, and they played really well. Uh, I think that they ended up losing to TNT, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the dang Mexico just got a penalty or just a free kick. Oh, just a free kick.
Yeah, that was a fall.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And there's a
Right.
Vela clone.
Yeah. So
Like he
who?
has that player that looks just like Carlos Vela. He looks he looks more like Carlos Vela than Vela's own brother, Alejandro Vela, who
So
even
would you let Guardado take this or Yona? I would let Yona take this. I think Guardado's doesn't have the leg that he used to.
are you going for power here?
Well, yeah, I think you have to go for power here.
Okay, if you don't score, at least take out one of the players in the barrera.
I want us to do a fabricada here with Chaka because he is wide open. All right, there they go. Now they go and cover.
I used to play when I used to play the Sunday pub. Oh, nice shot, nice desvio by Haitian keeper. Mexico with the corner. So it was Guardado going with colocación or potencia.
Yeah,
I was
almost
just
got it.
gonna, yeah, I was gonna tell you, John. Back when I used to play Sunday Pub League, uh, there used to be this guy from one of the teams, and he was known for kicking it really hard. So when every time there was a free kick, he wouldn't even kick at goal. He would kick it straight at the barrera, and everyone knew that how hard he would kick. So that barrera they would not hold.
Oh, really? So they would just like,
They would just move. He, yeah, he took out a couple guys that would, they didn't know. Uh, so they would move. So after a while, he would get a couple goals here and there, just because you're blocking the goalkeeper of your barrera, and then you duck or turn sideways.
right. And there's Guardado's coming off. China Rodriguez coming on, and it looks like I'm guessing it's going to be Piojo Alvarado coming off for.
Uh, you know what? I really like Guardado at second half, like a late sub. I wonder if yeah, if he has a slight injury or whatnot. But I would have preferred to wear them down with Antuna and then bring in the Guardado's experience.
Right.
But I'm guessing so Antuna for Alvarado.
Yep.
Right there, Guardado exit.
He did. Charlie Rodriguez came in for him.
Okay, Charlie, I didn't see it on the TV. Yeah, I would have said, but I guess, do you think Tata's thinking this one is going into extra time again?
Possibly. I mean, not only that, but I think Guardado has a little muscle fatigue, and he's the wrong side of 30. So I'm guessing that he probably wasn't going to be available for 90 minutes tonight anyway. So it's probably a good sub. The one that came in the last game for Guardado, I think was Luis Montes, and he had a terrible game. He usually plays pretty well when he comes in from Mexico, but he just did not play well at all. And it was oh, here we go. It was not anything that was it was totally unexpected. And at least he made us. I was really worried he was going to miss his penalty kick too, but he ended up sticking it in the top corner. I was really surprised with how well the Mexican defenders took penalty kicks against Costa Rica, Joel.
Yeah, and the guy we expected to score missed.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're exactly right. And like the Hector Moreno, who I hadn't played in 3 weeks, comes on and just ices his, and Salcedo did the same thing. Uh, it was uh, it was impressive.
Yeah, Mexico has come a long way from those 80s and 90s team that they were shaky once it came time to shoot from the penalty kick spot.
Right. Well, I personally just don't like defenders taking penalty kicks. Uh, I think that those are your sudden death guys. I mean, to me, you want attacking players to take those. You want someone that knows how to, that understands what's needed.
You
Not
know, we used to. It's interesting you say that. So I played in a youth team for a little bit, and we used to practice penalties every now and then. And most often than not, the defenders would always, they would score more than the strikers or the attackers.
really interesting.
Yeah,
See,
could have
I've
just been.
always thought that you can just tell sometimes when whether you're a defender or an attacker. This doesn't matter. I remember watching when Brazil played Holland and France in the France World Cup in Marseille, and it went to penalty kicks. They're watching at some bar downtown Austin, and with a bunch of it was like 90% Dutch. The folks in there, it was a great party. But I was just sitting with just with some random guy who was sitting the next table, and I think it was Koku or somebody who came up, and he just had to look like he was scared to death. You could just like, oh, that's cool. He ain't gonna make that. And the guy's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Was look at his face, man. It's not gonna happen." And sure enough, he misses, and they end up losing the game. And they end up losing the semifinal.
Ouch, ouch. 71st minute, Max has regained control of the game. They just had a slight chance. They could have probably done more with that, but they're back. They're back to attacking. I think IT had stolen the ball for a little bit, but Mexico took it right back. 20 minutes left. Let's see if they could find that one goal. That's all they need. That one goal to open up the cancha.
That's right. To crack open that walnut, if they get the one goal. Now they've they're generating. It's not that like they're not generating chances. This isn't like watching Mexico in their Chepo where they weren't doing anything. They are. I mean, I'm
That,
not. I'm not.
you mean it looked like the Simpsons game
Yes,
between Mexico and Portugal?
exactly. So we'll see. But again, I mean, this game is one counterattack of IT making actually stringing some passes together
Yeah.
of them when going up 1-0, winning the game.
As well as for Mexico, that last pass has been pretty horrible. Just now, uh, he tried to get too cute, and that's something we've been talking in the last games about. Some of the players, John, we've
Right.
noticed instead of just like you know, no need to do anything fancy. So I think it was Pizarro that tried to lob the pass into the box.
Hmm.
Just gave it away right now. I mean, he could have probably shot at goal.
Well, there's a lot of times where they could have been shooting a goal, honestly, in this game. And again, you're right. They're just this to me is the curse of playing team, like, because you're gonna get a lot of chances. So you think that you have to like pretty it, just score them. That's why that Cuba game was so promising, because they just scored. They didn't care. They just, all right, let's just get some goals. And they weren't making that extra pass or that stuff.
Oh, here it is. So, Hope. I don't know if it was offsides. And unlike the Antuna down now, um, unlike the previous games, Tata is not. He's not courtside.
He's not on the bench. Yeah, you're right, because he was
Yeah,
he had he picked up his second yellow card. He was way onside, if they call that onside.
you know what? The goalkeeper did get to the ball. I would not call that a penalty.
It shouldn't be a penalty. It's not a penalty, is it?
No,
It
no,
shouldn't.
no.
Shouldn't be.
But I'm saying,
Okay.
yeah,
No,
it
it
looked.
was a, it was a good play, but it was a terrible first touch, and a good play by the. by the Haitian goalkeeper.
Yeah, Pizarro. I think I hope Pizarro's not trying to do more. Just because he's one of the and he's one of the players I picked to be one of the Mexico's tournament guys, and I think he still hasn't delivered as much as we know he can.
Right.
And right now, like this game and some of the other ones, I feel like sometimes he tries a bit too much.
Uriel Antuna really trying to buy the yellow card. He's grabbing his ankle for a play that did not hit him in the ankle. So
So 75th minute, free kick for Mexico on the side of the what is it, right side of the box. IT keeper putting two players,
now we did mention, Joel,
two man wall. Yes.
that Pizarro was, at least I thought, when he was the one that had the biggest opportunity in this Gold Cup to really cement his place on the team and be like one of the leaders of the team moving forward. And these are the kind of games where like he has in the past, in finals and in finals specifically that Chivas had. Pizarro comes through with a couple of really big plays, and he hasn't quite done that just yet in this game.
Oh, shot from outside the box.
Well,
From
well over the bar.
yeah, but just not so good.
Yeah, but you're right though. It's I remember when we talked about this earlier. At least I did earlier uh, on the uh, on the Twitter about Mexico playing ID in playing in 1974 and then tying them in 81. One of the plays that cost Mexico a chance to qualify for the Spain World Cup. And I remember even in that game, I remember watching and they I think goes up actually they're ahead, and Mexico again was just trying to do this. They were just trying to make jugadas de lujo to score every time. And I'm curious why, if that's just something that they do against Haiti. Of course, they haven't played Haiti in since that game. I think they played them once.
Do you think it's because of the region? They feel that they have to look, they need to look extra fancy.
I don't know. I've never quite understood why Mexico always has problems in games like this. I mean, I know that Haiti is bigger and stronger, so they can, they're more physical. But the reality is that IT just does not have the same technical skill that the Mexican players have. Not all of them anyway. So
Yeah, sort of like they realize that, so then they try to use that too a bit too much. Because we saw it, especially, those early games against the U.S.
mhm.
and you would always see Mexico
It's like they're trying.
with better possession
Yeah,
and with the better passing, and then they would lose because the,
right. Yeah,
the U.S. would just take the shot and score.
which is why I think that this game is still very dangerous for me, because I think IT has the ability. I mean, they and so yeah. But yeah, it's almost as if like they have to like prove something.
Yeah, I'm still disappointed with that lob pass. I mean, come on, Pizarro. It's a difficult match. You're in the box, just shoot it.
Right.
You know, uh,
Get a rebound. You have someone be in position
yeah.
for a rebound. Yeah,
Well, some of those early goals from the what was it, the first two Mex games?
they were all off
Yeah,
rebounds.
they were off rebounds, and I mean, what would
Chicharito made a living crashing the box for 10 years in Europe. Did very well. Well, I got to tell you, Hoyt, I just the, uh, the amount of hate or whatever that went Chicharito's way. This
went recently
oh yeah, it's just so ridiculous, so ridiculous.
over his orange hair? Is
Well,
it
not
over his
that, just
vlog?
his him not wanting to be around, be there for the birth of his child, and instead of playing this tournament. I mean, I got no problem with that. I just don't.
Yeah, I think it because he opted out to be there. But then what you've seen most is, you know, an orange haired Chicharo doing vlogs. So people are like,
So what? He's
I
not
know,
there.
I know, but yeah, I don't care. But I mean, most people see that, and then they just think he's, you know,
Yeah, like they're
that
like, like
he
they're
was
mad
just
at
a
him
big
because
excuse.
he went to Italy. Like what are you doing in Italy?
Who went to Italy?
Chicharo.
Oh, he's
He's
in
on vacation in Italy. It's like,
he's in
is he
his
not allowed
yacht.
to go on vacation? I remember I used to follow this guy on Twitter. He was I don't know if he was a newspaper guy or a TV guy in Mexico. And after a Gold Cup, some of the players went to the beach, I think it was, and just they're on vacation. And Piojo gets fired or whatever it is. It's like your coach gets fired, and this is where you are, like as if it was terrible that they were on vacation.
He would need it. He should be at home crying.
Right.
No, that is a bit exaggerated. Oh man, so 10 minutes left. Still scoreless draw. Mexico seems frustrated, and Haiti is just, they're going all out for every ball. So I wonder how long they could keep that up. Some of them players are beginning to look exhausted.
Yeah. Well, I think Mexico just has to, all you need is one. Just have to be patient and just be solid defensively and keep at it.
Look, like right now, it's like you got 10 minutes left. The ball's in the air, and these guys are like doing this give and go with the head, uh, with headers, and they just lost. They just lost the ball. Like like none of them tried to like control it and look for the pass.
Well, yeah. I mean,
So what do you think is lacking for this team? It's a bit of a spark. What would you say it is?
well, I mean, it's pretty obvious to me that this team needs La Chofis.
La Trophies,
Yeah.
they do need someone like La Trophies, that type of guy that could dribble past two or three and just disrupt.
Oh, it was a tackle.
Yeah, they could just disrupt the other team's tactics. it's, it's Moreno. You think he's playing touch football?
He had to do it. He had no choice. That should have. I mean, honestly, you bring a guy down like that. I mean, that to me is almost like a red.
Here it is, number 20 for Haiti. That's one of the guys I saw. You could tell he's
Gassed.
excited. Yeah,
Yeah, he was one of their more desequilibrantes. So we'll see. It looks like they brought in another attacking player, number 18. But this is a riveting podcasting right now. The dead air always
I forgot. I got stuck watching the game.
always exciting. Always exciting.
Oh, it's exciting. um, no, yeah. 83rd minute, Ochoa with a free kick. Well, not a free kick.
This is how Canada got in trouble against these guys. You better watch it.
Canada and Costa Rica. Both.
With the
Oh,
high
man.
press.
Yeah, so Haiti win, man, and Chicago. I know there's a lot of Mexicans up there. Have already bought their ticket for the final. I wonder how many of those tickets will find themselves on eBay. If Mexico were to lose this one. half off.
I'm thinking like 80, 90% up. But if the gringos go, then they will they'll buy them up.
They'll buy them up.
Maybe.
Yeah, they need to win. They're getting outperformed by the women's.
Yeah, the U.S. women had a big win today, making the final. And I will say this for the Women's World Cup, at least it's a little more competitive than it's been in the past. It
Yeah,
used to be that there was two teams and everyone else. I mean, everyone else was just playing for third place.
yeah. A lot of countries have begun just putting in more money into their female into the programs. There's Pizarro, man. He's the Modelo special player. You don't deserve a Modelo right now, sir.
No,
You deserve a Bud Light.
oof, a Bush,
A Bush, a Bud Ice.
a Natty Light, Milwaukee's best.
So 5 minutes left, plus whatever the ref gives. Look, another bad pass. Uh, it's very frustrating watching Mexico right now. Just how they give away possession, it's incredible.
Well, I mean, defenders defend. I mean, not every pass is going to be perfect, but I mean, shoot,
Pizarro just got
shoot, shoot, shoot,
dispossessed really
shoot, shoot,
bad.
shoot. See now, right there. I mean, shoot, because you have two guys in front of you. Oof. See, that's what I'm talking about. So Haiti gets in a really good position, right? And then they make plays like that, and then that is.
Yeah, and you could tell how gas Haiti is because that was a dangerous ball there, and the player just his knees buckled.
Right.
His knees buckled, man. Um,
Yeah. So that's actually one thing that I don't quite understand about this team is that I mean I like the fact that they shoot more, but it seems like when they have moments to shoot, they don't shoot.
Good thing we prepared our fans here, our listeners, I should say, because we did say, hey, if they meet the U.S. in the final or anywhere in the tournament, it's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
And going off, and they didn't look good either, but it's all of these teams. Look, you see the IT player. Oh man, yeah, this guy just slipped and fell. Isn't he the guy that just came in? Yeah, you have no excuse, man.
Is that 18 that did that?
I forgot, but this guy tries to sprint and he just falls. Yeah, and I imagine it must be hot in over there in
Well, they're in Glendale, but they're
Glendale.
air conditioned. They're indoors.
I've
That
never
stadium,
been to that stadium, Yon.
it has a roof.
I was looking at the matches played there, and it's been all moleros for Mex, like the molero of the moleros, like the bottom of the barrel molero games.
They played Uruguay in the Copa America there.
They played them there. See, they lied to me then. I was looking at, and they had like Guadalupe and Guate, and
Well, yeah, in the Gold Cup they played, but in the Copa America Centenario they played. Ay. Just Mr. Bad Decisions today. Pizarro.
two minutes left in the half. And then whatever what are you guessing? 3 minutes they're gonna give 3 minutes stoppage time for the bloody Chaka's cash bot max 3 minutes.
Well, they took Chaka off pretty quick, so yeah, I think it should be no more than 3. Speaking of refereeing, the refereeing tonight in the Brazil-Argentina match was pretty spectacularly scandalous. It was.
You're saying he was a homer?
There was. Mom was definitely in the kitchen at that game. There's no doubt. Yeah, there was. If they were making an asado, it was a Brazilian asado. It was unfortunate. It was a very entertaining game. I thought that both teams played really well. The first goal that Brazil scored was magnificent. Just an
I
outstanding.
I
Goal.
saw that.
It was just beautiful. Just
The whole
absolutely.
build up, yes.
Yeah, Dani Alves with the way he went through the team was just amazing. His pass was perfect. The centering pass was out, and then a one touch into the
And
back.
Alves is 36.
What a great player. What a great career he's had, man. He's been playing at an extremely high level for what, 15 years?
Yeah.
Hard, man.
One guy that did that was Zanetti, remember?
El Pupi, yeah, he was a great player.
He
I
went
remember.
up to
Go ahead.
yeah, he played with Inter Milan until he was like 41.
Wow. I remember Omar Bravo had a one-on-one against him in the Copa America. Dude, that ain't gonna happen. So ID with a chance that Memo is able to put away.
4 minutes, John. 4
4 minutes.
minutes. We were close. 4 minutes. So Mexico has 4 minutes. I think they could do it, John.
I,
I
I,
think they could do it just because Haiti is gassed. All you need is that last pass. Like, hey, stop trying to do it fancy. Just, just do the regular stuff or shoot.
right.
You'll find it. These guys are really tired. They've done a phenomenal job, and they've gone to the limit.
No, I agree. It's but IT on the other hand, I mean, they are one counter away from having a one-on-one with Memo.
Well, they've had two, John. Remember, they fell. Their players, their knees buckled, and they just dropped. They ran like 3 steps, and they just kerplunked.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for. So I think Mexico has two subs left, or they'll have one here and they'll have one in the
Two
Alargue.
subs. Didn't they make two in the second
Yeah,
half?
they have one here, but then they get one more in extra time, so they'll have two more.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Good, yeah. So who do you bring in? Who do you bring in, John?
Well, I mean, you only have one. I mean, if you want a goal, you only have one other striker. So I would put in. I would put what's his face?
You're talking about Alexis Vega?
Alexis Vega in for Pizarro and just play a 4-4-2.
But Chivas don't score at home, and this is like a home game.
That's true. That's very true.
Hopefully the Diablo Vega shows up.
Well, you know what's sad is it why can't Raul just pretend that instead of this being IT, they said that they pretend that they're Chelsea. He's done very well against Chelsea. That's and you can see and this to me is the game that you wanted that Chicharito for because Chicharito thinks that anyone that wears blue uniforms are Chelsea and he does so well against them. Because he thinks that he just pretends that it's Chelsea. All right, so Mexico's down to about a minute, so they have one chance, maybe two left, but definitely just a minimum of one. Let's see if they can get anything going. Otherwise, we're getting free. We're getting free.
Nice long ball pass to Chaka. Chaka centers. And see, this guy tried the first time, and there I go again with this whole fancy stuff.
Right.
It hasn't been working all game, dude. You
Just
could have stopped it right there, and
he could have. He had a clear shot. See here, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I mean that. All right, so now there's 30 seconds left, and Mexico again, like I said, should have. Yeah, but Chairo Rodriguez there, gets the ball at the top of the 18. There's no one in front of him, except the goalie in front of goal. Take the shot.
Yeah, he tried to do a first time pass.
So he passes to a guy who's covered.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating the amount of times Mexico has given the ball away with just bad passing. Oh man, look at the number 10 for Haiti. That guy is glad to hear the whistle. So a full time 0-0.
There,
Moral win for
there
Haiti
are nervous faces in the in the audience.
in the stands. They want to go home, John. Uh, and the people watching in the East Coast, they want to go to sleep.
Man, the one Saturday night didn't enter like 12:30 at night. It was rough. It's like, damn. 12 it was 12:30 for me. I can imagine what's like on the East Coast. I was hoping that Rigo would be on because I know he's watching. He's probably listening.
He's probably in bed, just
Yeah.
wrapped up.
Now, do you think, Joel, that that in addition to watching the game, do you think Tata's listening to us too?
Yeah, of course, of course. I think I saw him with a ear thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, what can he do, man? He should be in the locker room tearing them a new one right now.
It's like, what are you
But
doing? The extra for
but I
just
don't think he
job.
could even get to the locker room, John. By the time he gets there from the stadium, it's already time to start.
Well, they only get 5 minutes between now and
No, no, but it's kind of far to make it from like you're up in the stands to make it all the way down. You have to
right.
go all the way around. It take like a little elevator.
Yeah, Glendale is one of those stadiums where the press box is in the corner of the. But I think he was in a luxury box though, so I think that maybe he has like better access. Maybe he has like those stadiums have like the special set bladder elevators.
Oh man, that's so sweet. I wonder who uses that elevator now.
The SEP elevator.
Yeah, man. For those of you listening, wondering what that is, so Sepp Blatter had for World Cup stadiums, he wanted his private elevator.
That's right. If he was going
Goddamn.
to attend a game, he had to reach his suite in a private elevator.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna wait. He was gonna wait with a bunch of hungry journalists. Yawn. Be mobbed with a bunch of randoms.
Right. No, I mean, you don't want why would you want to mingle with the riffraff? So 0-0 Joel, Mexico can't crack the walnut against Haiti. They're going to extra time, the second straight extra time game. Now, if I recall correctly, I believe that we had a gentleman on our podcast a few weeks ago telling us that Mexico should
Yes.
just go ahead and give Mexico the trophy now because every game was going to be just one slaughter after another because Mexico was going to win this going away. I believe the term he used was caminando. That Mexico was going to win this thing.
Yeah, like waltzing. There's this AT&T commercial with El Brody, and there's a bronze statue of him, and his face looks funny, which is sort of kind of making fun of those statues they made on Messi and Ronaldo, where their faces were just way off.
Yeah,
Did you
the
get that
Ronaldo one.
commercial, John?
I did get that commercial. The Ronaldo one was, it would have been to me. It would have been funnier if the bust would have looked more like Ronaldo, like the Ronaldo one. But I guess that was what they were going for. So I did get the joke. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh man. So, John, are you worried? Be honest.
If they go to penalties, I'll be worried. But I think Mexico's going to win next time. I think they're going to get the goal that they need.
I wouldn't be worried in penalties either. These guys are fulminados. I
Yeah,
don't know
man.
how you would say
Penalties.
that. I don't know how you would say that in English, but they're fulminados. They're they're you know they're running on fumes. So much respect to Haiti, man. This is when you play with garra. You're showing a lot of heart and jundia. So my hats off.
Right.
I tip my fedora to Haiti, man. This was
Some would say in Mexico le están poniendo huevos because apparently huevos is the most important thing.
was what was avestruz.
So
Like,
there's one change that was just made. So Diego Reyes comes on in the
oh,
role for.
what are you doing, Tata? Did Tata just punish the Mex team?
Well, he's not playing him as a central. He's playing him as a DH. Actually, I think he does all right. He's if Edson's getting pushed around, maybe Diego Reyes can. Well, he's like the Jurgen Damm of DMs.
Okay, man. I hope it proves me wrong, but this stuff just confused me, man. Because I don't know.
Well, maybe
Prove me wrong, Reyes.
maybe
His
Edson was wiped out too. I mean that's the one position you can't have a guy gas, because he sometimes is gonna be último hombre. So
Yeah, if you just like, hey man, don't even try passing the ball, just defend, reviéntala.
right,
I played in I used to play in this other team, dude. Sunday pub. They were panaderos during the week, and every Sunday they would turn into futbolistas.
right. With that
And
the name
so,
of their team, with the Panaderos de Pacoima.
no, it was Palermo, dude.
Uh, with the
I think it
Panaderos.
was Palermo. I forgot the bakery, but that's the name of a bakery. Anyways,
So they went to Panaderos. What a great name, man. The Panaderos.
no, they were actual panaderos.
I understand. That's why there should have been
Oh,
Los Panaderos.
they should have,
Yeah,
John. They lacked that vision. Um, is that a penalty?
it's gonna be a handball on Raul. Oh, he did call.
91st minute.
He did call a
I,
penalty. He did call
See,
a
I
penalty.
told I was off by a little bit, John. I told you these guys are tired, and when you're tired, it's you know.
A ver, 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 a ver. Ay, no sé. A ver. Oh, he
I
did kick.
don't
He did kick him. That's a
kick them
penalty. It's a penalty. He kicked him.
penal on Raúl.
It's a penalty.
90. John, I was off by a minute. Not even a minute, less than a minute. See,
You
I
said in the
done said
93rd
it.
minute? 93rd minute?
Well, no, I said that they still had, when they give the extra time, that they could still score.
Oh, I see.
Uh,
Well, they had 4 minutes, so this is like the 96th minute in reality.
um, so back to my story, which is I'm sure more exciting than this match.
Yes, yes, yes. So that Panaderos
So
de Pacoima.
uh, so yeah,
When they
man.
score a goal, would they like rub it in and say, "Te metimos un bolillo," or
No,
they,
they
no?
rarely scored, man. But they were bad. They were just a really bad team, and because a lot of the bakers, um, they have to they start doing bread early, like around 3 in the morning.
Right.
So that a lot of them would work from like 3 up to like around 10, whatnot. So I mean that makes it hard for a lot of these guys to be in good shape. Jimenez this time he scored, cool, calm, collective. Mexico up 1-0.
And the other thing that does is that puts Raul Jimenez, I
And
believe,
and
in the
and
lead or tied for the lead in the Gold Cup.
and Tata boxed in a glass cage of emotion.
Hitata is. I wish I can't believe I don't have that. I
He
can't believe I don't
doesn't
have that. I'm
he
so ashamed.
can't he he wanted the Tata group hug, and they
That's very
have him.
true. That's
He's
very
trapped
true.
in a glass cage, man. Why? Uh, but okay, calm is restored. I can see the floodgates. They'll
Yeah, I
score like
think
two more
it's
goals right
exactly. It's
now.
gonna be about 3-0. I think is what it's gonna end up being. Let's see. Let's see.
He
Does he
says,
have
"Oh
anyone
yeah,
more
he
going?
still hugged. Nothing can contain the hugs. There's no stopping those. God damn, I'm impressed, John.
Is your faith restored in Tata now too?
Oh, it was never lost. I was putting the whole blame on the players.
No,
I
I was
mean,
talking
I
about
think.
when he made his move to Diego Reyes. You're like, oh my God, Tata, what are you doing? So
Oh,
so
yeah, he must have confused the Haitians as well. Uh, okay, so back to the panaderos,
yes.
and yeah, man, this team sucked. Dude. We would lose most of the time, but our home games were in
No
a
le
really
ponían
small.
la mantequilla a la torta.
Yeah, our home games were like in a because we played in a league that had like cuatro canchas.
No le ponían
Uh,
los chochitos en las mantecadas.
this league it was like in a park and it had 4 fields, and we would play in the smallest field. I don't know if it was regulation, but it's a very small field. Like you could boot the ball from your box, and most often than not, it would be at the other end.
Right.
And
No le ponían el azúcar al polvorón.
yes, I remember playing, and I would get the ball, trap it, and then I'll look for a pass. I'll look to see who was open, and the coach pulled me aside, man. It's like, I see what you're doing, but
We
like
don't
these,
play like that here.
yeah, we don't play like that, man. These guys fucking suck, dude. They're just most likely gonna give the ball away. So just reviéntala. Once you get it, just put it on the other side of the box. And that was the tactic, man. Reventarla and fight the ball in their area and shoot from wherever. It was a small field, so
Hmm.
pretty much almost from anywhere you could do a long distance shot. So I'm guessing that's what they told Reyes. Dude, don't even try to play it. Just if you get the ball, just boot it to the other side.
Honestly, if Reyes is going to be on the field, I would much rather he be a DM than the central defender. Because then at least when he screws up as a DM, there's two guys behind him. When he screws up as a central defender right now, so just memo. Oh, I'm sorry, he's down by one now. He's down by one now. He's tied with Lucas Cavallini, who everyone is benefiting from playing Cuba in that group. The two Canadians and Raul. I think Raul only got one against Cuba though. He didn't get a hat trick like Antuna did.
Pizarro's gassed. I would take out Pizarro right now.
That's I would take out Pizarro and I would put in Alexis Vega.
Vega,
Yeah,
yeah, take him out, man. He's one of the. He didn't have that good of a game. He was still like the most dangerous player, but he was. Le faltó, dude. Le faltó.
well, he just he. It's frustrating because to me, if you're going to be a player like that, you have to be dangerous. You have to let the defense know that you're going to shoot too. And he didn't take one shot tonight. Cuauhtemoc would have never have not taken a shot.
Oh
Even
man,
even if it goes 30 yards over the bar, Cuauhtemoc
yeah,
is going to take a shot.
yeah. It made him very unpredictable.
Exactly. And what made Cuauhtemoc so dangerous is he could do it with either leg. He just could do with whatever. He could do whatever he wanted. And the only player that New Mexico just doesn't have a guy like that. Trophies
Yeah,
is the closest.
and that's the thing with those players is that instinctively they know when to shoot, when to do the pass, or when to take on the player.
Right.
They just know when to do. It's like an automatic. And some of these other guys, they think about it too much, and that's with soccer, man. Those few seconds that you take making up your mind, they already gain on you. The other, you know.
It was a nice tackle by the Haitian defense. The defenders for Haiti have actually I think they played really well tonight. Honestly, they've
Yeah,
done just enough to disturb Mexico. They've thrown their bodies at the ball. But I agree with you though. I think that Mexico, if they play right, have a chance to put a couple through. They
yeah,
just need to with a vision to do it. I'm gonna say that one may have been a penalty there, Juan. He kind of
for
did push
who?
for Mexico on Antuna. That
Oh, okay.
Asian defender did kind of stretch
Oh,
his arm out to push, and
the
you know,
Haitian Vela is out. And see, this is the thing with teams like Haiti, they don't have that much depth.
right.
So they're doing cambios, and these guys aren't as good as the ones in the field.
Well, it reminds me of
The chances are slim.
when Barcelona was over here, and this was like 10, 12 years ago, and they played America in Houston, and it was sold out. There was 75,000, mostly America fans. So the place in America goes up 4-0. So they're playing Barcelona's B team, the B guys. So America makes their subs, and it's like these just like super random scrubs, just like who. And then Barcelona makes their subs, and they bring on Xavi and Iniesta and Messi, and in 15 minutes it's 4-4.
15. God damn.
It didn't take long at all.
Oh man, who was the coach, man? I would have held on to that 4-0 lead come hell or high water.
I can't remember who
No
it was.
one's leaving, dude. I'm gonna start throwing kicks. Um, yeah,
That's
oh
what I mean.
man.
Is it they just, what are they going to do? I mean, it's a preseason game. You're not going to do that, but Yeah, I mean that was who Barcelona was bringing on. And all right, so here we go. So Mexico has what looks like a pretty decent break.
There it goes. That was a nice pass.
That was Diego Reyes who
Uh,
made the pass.
yeah.
And you got a guy all by himself. You got two guys now all by themselves, and we go and make.
You know the amount of possession Mexico's having inside the box. You could tell Haiti is gassed, and they're playing with some of their weaker players. Man,
all you have to do is make
these
one.
guys had so much time that in the first half they weren't getting that much free time.
Just commit. It's
Look at the keeper, man, telling his defender, dude, just boot it.
I think you have nothing to be. Like I said, I think that when win or lose, they the U.S. are well. I say that Haiti is not going to win the Gold Cup if they lose this match, they'll be out. But they will certainly be the winners of the Gold Cup as far as I'm concerned. Them and Canada both. They're the big winners of this Gold Cup.
Not
And,
not Curacao, John.
and
You
and
don't
even
think
and even Curacao too. I mean,
it,
they have made it known that the hex is no longer the property of Central America and Central and North America. So they it's always been two North American teams, three Central American teams, and one Caribbean team. Maybe I think it's going to be the opposite now. I think it's going to be probably three North American teams and maybe one Central American team and two Caribbean teams. And as good as Canada played, Hoyle, we have to realize that they're just as capable as laying a big fat egg as anybody else in the region. I mean, they probably should have beaten Haiti.
well, they did have the 2-0 lead,
Yeah, exactly.
and then the coach did, you know, bringing it. We're gonna bring it right back. Yon, he did the wrong cambios, or so I am told.
Well, no, that
And
and also, Haiti pressured and they got a goal off a Canadian mistake, a back pass that was sloppy. Mexico just had a back pass that was sloppy that almost cost them here.
Haiti showing some hustle, and but yeah, you can see how tired they are. Oh man, yeah, those guys are gonna be sore for a week. Yeah, man, I imagine all of Haiti is watching. They had a massive party when they reached the Mexico match. They got in the streets. It was pandemonium.
Haiti is they're a good soccer country, man.
Here it is. This is more of the Tata cambio I was expecting. So it won't be Vega. It looks like Chapito Montes
well, I think it
will
would
be
have been
coming
Vega
in.
if they needed a goal.
Yeah, I think he wants Pizarro to get his goal because that would just fill him up with so much more confidence,
Well,
especially going into the final.
is he going to put? So he's taking out Yona and putting Montes in.
I haven't seen. Yeah, 6 for 10. Yup, there it is.
So that's what
And
Tata does. Tata is he replaces his midfield. It's actually pretty smart because in the Mexico Holland match, a lot of people want to talk about the Noida Penales and that. Mexico's midfield had nothing. They had no gas in that tank. Like for the last 20 minutes of that game, they could not maintain possession at all.
yeah, Mexico had some very intense games where they had played out of their minds, all in the group stage. Uh, so yeah, going into this game, it's like they weren't like the gas tank wasn't at full. But yeah, that Aquino sub for Gio kind of it cost Mexico, man. Gio
Yeah,
was having one of those games.
yeah, but he was cramped. He had to
Oh
come out.
man, That was oh so
Uh,
close for Raul off a nice cross. I did not notice
it
who
was
sent it in, and he
Antuna, I
first
think.
timed it.
But I'm okay with that. Honestly, I mean, at least he tried. If he would have like tried to like do a spectacular Rabona pass to someone else.
What was with that pass,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
That who did that, Yon? Was that Reyes?
No, I wouldn't. Reyes would never do this, anything like that. Oh, come on.
He, who was it? Dude deserves some pambachina, man.
Maintain possession. There you go. Just calm down. Yeah. All right. So then, well, Mexico got their one goal. It's 1-0. Then after they enter the first extra time. See, this to me, Joel, is why on earth do they have two extra times? To me,
Now
if you
you
score
want Gol de Oro?
well, if you score a goal in the first one, then it should be over the first one. Why do you need another 15 minutes for this crap? I mean, seriously. I mean, it just to me, it's like I think you only need the 15 minutes if there's a reason to have them.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that case, then just Gol de Oro, no?
Well, see, I was a big fan of the Gol de Oro. A lot of people weren't, and to me, it's like for one, it makes extra time a lot more exciting. Two,
Yeah, sudden death.
who wants to see who wants to see
Well, I think one of the reasoning was that with like the Gol de Oro, that sudden death, teams would play more defensive, and it would be kind of boring. And at least with the 15, with the two halves, with the two set halves,
uh
teams are likely to be a bit more
well,
open.
I that may be so, but I think the results bear out that that wasn't the case because there were many games, big important games that were decided by the golden goal. The very first one was when France beat Paraguay. Paraguay was they put the clamps on France. And I remember Laurent Blanc scored the first golden goal in World Cup history. And then they had the Eurocopa in '96 that was decided by the golden goal when
Yeah, when
Oliver Bierhoff.
did they get rid of that for the World Cup, or is it still?
What, the golden goal?
Yeah,
No, they got rid of it. It only lasted less than 10 years because the Europeans complained that if they score, we should get a chance to answer back. No, mames, well, you had 90 minutes to score. You had 90 minutes to win the game. What do you need? I mean, to me, so they did the silver goal, and the silver goal was if they score in the first extra time, the other team at least gets a chance to tie it. And whatever's left of those 15 minutes.
that just not sound as good. The silver gold.
And then so that's
It's
what the
just
silver goal was. So if after the 15, if it was if the time hits, then which I thought I kind of liked, and then in the second half, yeah, it was golden goal, which I think that was a good compromise. Oh, here we go, here we go. Not the goal that came out. That was a smart play by the goalie. He's going for it all. Yeah, just kick it out. Don't no payasadas, Joel.
no more. Oh man, so Haiti pressuring Mex. They got a third wind.
Yeah, but the
Your
problem
Mex,
is that if Mexico gets the ball, they're going to be on a counter and they're going to have like a 4-on-1.
yes. Well, that's what I'm hoping for, Yon.
Yeah.
Oh, Mex just cooled it down. They passed it back, and damn, look at this Haitian guy running. Whoo.
Hey, it works for them, and but the other thing is that they're going to waste a lot of energy.
So yeah, Mex gets
Mexico just
possession again.
pop on the offside trap. Just pop the outside trap, and you're going to have a 1-on-1 like a 30-yard run. It's going to. Here we go.
Yeah, Mexico doing really good to control possession now. They
You
put the
know,
brakes. They put the brakes on Haiti, who were trying to get sassy.
Chaka with the skull cap
That's
looks
gonna happen.
looks like a different player because all the other players have black heads. So you think that there's like, who's that? You're running through like who's 21, and oh, it's Chaka, but he's wearing a skull cap. Because normally, Chaka's very very noticeable. Especially in HD with his pretty bald head. Uh, I've heard Chaka apparently is just a very quiet family guy. He has a lot of kids. He just that's what he does. He loves spending time with his
He,
family.
he makes kids.
He's a kid maker. Well, he scores goals at home and at work. Chaka.
There's Pizarro giving away possession again. Oh man, Pizarro, come on, buddy.
Yeah, it's not been the best game for him.
No, I'm
Oh,
still confident. He can be one of the he could be one of the players of the final.
well, that
You
is
know,
usually where he shines the most is in finales. At least that's he did it in the Conca Champions. He did it in
yeah.
in the final against Tigres. He, in my opinion, earned the whatever the transfer fee that Chivas paid for him. The rumor was it was 20 or whatever it was, which is just hilarious.
Foul on Pizarro. We were talking about him, and Haiti didn't like it. They
I think he fell
knocked
in.
him down.
I think he's actually really hurt.
And
I,
109 minutes played so far.
he might have,
Mexico continues to lead 1-0. Second extra half.
and he got an extra shot in the ribs. It looks like. Let's see if he takes another. Yeah, right there. He took it a little shin to the ribs.
So free kick for Mexico just from the edge of the box. They decide to play it low. And
Shoot.
nice tiro finally,
Oh,
and it was Raul.
Raul shoots.
He's been listening to us.
That's right.
Yeah, just do that. Just shoot it.
Shoot. That's all you have to do. You didn't have to go in. Just shoot.
Yeah, it's a good shot. A little bit high, but that's what you got to do, man. Yeah, I'm impressed with Haiti. Oh, they almost gave it away. I thought they were going to be a bit more gassed. They're showing a lot of heart.
Well, it's not going to last. It's not going to last.
I know they're.
And I mean, it's gonna. What I mean is that, like we said, I mean, if Mexico catches them on the counter, it's gonna be like a 4-on-1. And but they're stringing some passes together here.
Yeah, Pizarro again with another bad pass. Oh, I don't know what he was trying to do. Yeah,
He's probably gassy. Again, he's trying to be. He's had a couple of back heels now. They've worked tonight, but he's maybe because Daddy's not on the field. He's trying to give it a little more liberty.
So Haiti with a free kick. What are they doing?
Somebody on the field.
No, there was two balls on the field.
For God's sakes, that's
Okay.
what the ball kids are for.
They sent a guy to run 20 meters to. Okay, yeah, no, nothing came of it. Mex la revienta as he should. Puts it back in Haitian field to the goalie. Haiti trying to come out playing. And they gave the ball. They gave the ball away twice, trying to come out jugando yon. Just
Well, that's not their game. Their game is to let Mexico make the mistake and then they pounce. When they have to string some passes together, they have a hard time.
Yeah. So another free kick.
So this is the part that I was like, what are you doing? The only way that these guys can are going to do damage is on set pieces and counterattack. So what on earth are you doing giving them set pieces? Just giving them to them.
Wasn't it Reyes that caused that fall,
Yes,
Yon?
it was.
So free kick from Haiti. Memo gets to it first. Mexico starting the counter. Pizarro with the ball. Pizarro gives it away. Oh, Pizarro, no. He deserves better, Yon.
Yeah, it's he's basically been he's
It's,
like a
you're worth how much again?
he's like a leaky bucket. You're supposed to go to
I,
what country after this?
yeah, you're going what? Europe? Um, oh, nice counter from X. Oh,
That was a
Mex
great.
still with the ball. And Mexico still with the ball. Well, Haiti now had time to fall back and defend the box. So Mexico now good opportunity to double their lead. They're just toying the ball with the ball right now, though. Nice play right there.
No,
And oof.
shoot.
See,
That's okay.
John,
That's okay.
that's what we were asking for.
All we
Take
want.
the shot.
That's all we
And
want.
these last two shots, they've been close.
That's all we want.
And yeah, and they took the shot right when they had it, and they came close.
See the opening, take the shot. If you have an open shot, you have to take it.
Max with the ball again.
I mean,
Oof,
especially if you're
oof.
alternative.
Qué jugada, John.
Well, of course, mira quién fue.
Oh no, Pizarro, please. So, so now it just sounds like we're bullying this guy. So Raul with a really nice play, and he crosses into the
Oh,
box.
it came up on him. It was a sorpresa. I didn't.
Cheech scores with his glutes. Come on, he
Yeah.
could have tested. He was not expecting it, but man, it just sounds like we're bullying
No. I
Pizarro.
mean, it was the ball ran up on him. It was a
He's
deflection.
he's having one of those days, dude.
But
The
at the
ball
very
is
least, like put your shoulder into it. At least direct it toward goal. And it looked like it would have been a handball on him too if he scores because it went off his.
well, here comes Pizarro. He loses
Redeem yourself.
possession.
Redeem
He
yourself.
gets the ball again, and see this was good though. Pizarro went for the shot, was inside the box, and he got a corner kick.
That's all
But
we're
this
at.
is just see, it's like they took him like over 90 minutes for these guys to realize you don't have to do the
Yeah. But
two extra touches and
however,
that fancy heel.
if he just all he has to do is just push that toward the far post, and Pizarro could have used any part of his body to score that because it would have gone in.
Yeah, minute 115, Mexico with the corner kick. Montes looks like he's gonna take it, but it looks like it's gonna be a short pass, and it is. And
It's
then
it's, it's too early for this. It's too early for this.
who was that number 8? He was trying to do tiempo, and
It's
they
try-
got
it's way
possession right
too early.
back again.
It's too early for this. You do this when there's
Why?
2 minutes left, not 5. No mames.
Yeah. There's see Tata's complaining. He's agreeing with us, John.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell?
Tata's like, what? Yeah, can't even enjoy his Dasani water right there.
No, he cannot.
Oh, Haiti with the breakaway. Except there was no one acompañando the player, and Haiti looking to get in a cross. Very poor cross, man. Something that saved Mexico is as bad as their passing has been, Haiti's has been worse. So nice breakaway from I guess it's Antuna. Oh, could it be a penalty, Yon? Nope, no penalty. Get up. And Mexico win possession yet again. And they cut the goalie. Oh, Antuna's still on the floor, man.
Raul, see now I like that. Raul, yeah, he is his shoulder all right? Let's see what happens to him.
There was
How is that not a penalty?
That was a penalty
How is
upon
that not
second
a penalty?
viewing.
Yeah, good lord.
That was he lo cargó. He put his hands on his shoulder to help bring him down.
Yeah,
And look at Tata's fuming.
pushed him down from From it wasn't he pushed his shoulder down into the ground. That is a penalty.
Yeah, Tata's fuming up there, man.
There are about 3 minutes left. It's
Yeah,
170 and
it's on Mex now, man.
winning. They're on a 4-on-1 here. They're on a four. Okay, now it's a 4-on-3. Raul is all
Yeah,
by himself, and it's a terrible cross once again.
corner kick again.
But full
Uh,
credit to the Haitian defender for getting back. That we know we were. It's not like they have a 4-on-0. Now here, take your time. Don't even worry about the defenders don't even need to worry about coming to play this one.
so they did the short corner again, and they're doing the whole ball wasting time.
Yeah, and they're doing it with the guy who has the body to do it, which is Raul Jimenez.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to frustrate Haiti, and they are getting frustrated. You can see their defender pushing Raul.
Uh,
That's this is a little bit of the dark arts. I don't mind, John.
yeah, I don't mind it either.
Part of the game. You get into their head. You cause them to be, desperation, and they're bound to make
They have
some
2 minutes.
mistakes.
I again, it's still just a 1-0 game.
The Haiti coach, you can see he's very desperate. He's very frustrated. I should say, not desperate. He's pissed. Oh, oh my God! Haiti just hit the post.
No,
Ay Dios mío! From outside the box, uh, and they hit the upper corner, right where the spiders nest. Oof! Would have been a golazo too, man. Oh man.
so I'm talking about. I mean, I'm telling you, that's yeah. Oh, oh, now the goalie's way out, way
He's
out.
way out, but Mexico's pretty slow to bring it in. Jimenez is obviously tired,
Yeah, there's no reason to play this one.
and Mex doing more. They're doing tiempo, minute 119. I don't think the ref would add much. You think he'll add a minute, maybe two?
A minute at the most.
Watch him at 5, dude.
Oh, no, they would add 5 if Mexico was down 1-0.
Serious, Mexico's possession. Pizarro with the ball. Oof. Pizarro did nice tunnel, but then he lost it to a third defender.
See this is the time where you go into the corner and you do that's a push. That has to be a foul, right? Yeah, it has
That
to.
was a foul. Haiti almost got the breakaway,
So
but
this
the foul.
should be game over here. This should be game over here.
There should have been a penalty though
It should
on
have been a
Antunes.
penalty. You're
That
absolutely
was
right.
a clear penalty. To get some of the Mex fans, they want to go home, dude. They're like, I work tomorrow.
Yeah, this should just this
2 minutes, yo.
no Manchester. Yeah.
This is turning into that commercial with the buffalo wings. I didn't want the party to end.
That's right. Just got the call from the Buffalo BW3 in Jefferson City, Missouri. Hey man. And now the
So here's Pizarro. Oh, Pizarro. No. Yeah, Pizarro's gas, man. I don't hold nothing against him. He should have been out. I still think that Tata wanted him to get a goal.
the good thing about even if they do the extra time here is Mexico they'll have 4 days off to recover, so they should have no problem. That was a great pass. Now this should be a goal. Just shoot. Yeah.
He did shoot. It was off. It was bad shot, but it's understandable now. It's 120 minutes plus.
There's about 30 seconds left, and Mexico can just maintain possession. This game is over. But if they let
Oof! There goes Raul in the box. He centers in. Oh, Chapito, dude, no, that's it, buddy. You just signed your release form.
All you have to do is push it. All you have to do is push it.
Solo with nothing but the net to beat and the most rested player in Mexico's squad.
All he had to do was just put his foot, just stick his foot out. It looked like he tripped.
Look at Tata. He's sitting, and you can see he's like by himself. So where did the Tata squad come from when they were
Well,
celebrating?
they
Look,
were in
look the beard. It's like they
in
just
the they were in the. There's a row above him. That like
oh
when he
that's
sits around and talks, he's talking to
he,
the people above him.
he wants his space. You
Yeah.
would think they'll be like next to him.
Chacabo.
Oh man. So he has his little bag. Why did they take the camera away from Tata? I wanted to see what was in his bag. Oh man, look at the Haitian players. They're so gassed, but big hats off to them. They had a massive match. They did really well. Oh man, it's heartbreaking. This guy's crying. Ah, sorry, pro.
You know, I got to tell you, man, better teams can beat this Mexico. I mean, there's no question. They are not.
Some
Uh,
of the Haitian players are very heartbroken. There, saw some of the Mexican guys consolidating them.
but you know what,
Yeah,
Joel, you have to learn to win these games. You have to learn to win these games, whether you play Haiti or whether you're playing Honduras or whether you're playing Holanda. You have to win games like this.
oh man, Montes, I'm disappointed. Could have done much more. This, if you have a match where it's like it's just right for you, this one was it. The team is gassed. Dude, you just gotta go in there, do
You
a
know who would
couple
have scored that?
passes,
You know who would
couple
have scored
shots,
that? You know who would have scored that, Joel?
trophies.
Alexis. Well, trophies for
Oh,
sure.
Alexis.
Alexis Vega
No,
was.
I do think Alexis would have scored. I do think, and I think
Well,
just
I'm
seeing.
telling you, he tripped.
No, well, you know what? If I'm Tata right here, and and seeing what how Montes played, I think if I'm in that similar position for the final, I'm bringing in Alexis.
Yeah, and see what he can do, right? Why not? All right, so I'm going to watch this play, and I'm telling you, I think. And Montes is he left-footed or right-footed? He's right-footed, isn't he?
I don't even know. We will have to ask
Ask
our Leon.
their own fans.
Yeah, the Leon fans. But it was entertaining game though. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
Albeit frustrating, but entertaining nonetheless. Yeah, not coming, not
I mean,
Mexico. They're
come
not.
on. I'm telling you, man. All he had to do was just put his foot. Just you didn't have to shoot it. See these guys. Well, one thing that drives me crazy about certain players is they feel like they have to like rip the back of the net with shots and stuff. Man, just push it into the net.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to Mex fans, just heading into the final, it could go either way, just because how these games have been. But I wouldn't worry. The team is in good hands. Mexico is much stronger than
Yeah,
this. They're not playing with all of the. There's still a couple players that are at another level that are not with the team. Uh, you know, and a lot of them are gonna return. Nache Ache, and Achaki. Some of these guys they were legit injured or just trying to get their career under wraps. And I think with a lot of these dudes, it makes a big difference. And we'll see it once Tata has the full Mexico at full power.
right. I mean, Neto Herrera hadn't taken a summer off since 2011 was the last time he didn't play a tournament in the summer. 2011.
Yeah,
Chicharito, I think, was 2013.
yeah, yeah. So I think some of these guys will return, and Mexico will be better for it. Uh, but yeah, I see this team qualifying. No, no worries. No worries with qualifying to the World Cup.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will say this about the qualifying. I mean, it's Mexico is going to really have to put a premium on the home games because I mean, you have to get a minimum of 11 points at home if they do the hex. So you have to at least win 3 and tie 2 at the very minimum. and then hope that you get 4 points on the road.
Yeah, I see it. I see it happening. I see it happening, John.
Yeah, because these games, I'm telling you, this CONCACAF, and we've been watching it evolve. At least in this decade for sure. I mean, it is much stronger from top to bottom as it ever has been. Now, does that mean that Mexico is going to have problem? They have in the past, sure, but the reality is that the days of winning games 5-6-7-0 are over, and they have been for a while.
Yeah. Well, John. I don't know if they're stronger because I have seen. I would say I've seen Hex with better teams when they had players that were playing in top clubs. I think is you could say a bit more competitive in the sense that like some of these smaller teams have improved, but like there was a point when Honduras was had a very talented squad with the Coslis and the Suazos and the Rambo, the
And,
Leones, and all that.
and Wilson Palacios and
Yeah,
Miner
yeah, and
Figueroa.
the fact that we know the name says a lot.
Yeah,
Because we don't
exactly.
follow we don't follow these guys. We just know the names because we would see the games and they'll cause a headache. Or a lot of them played in Liga MX, but they would make enough noise that we would remember them. And even with like the US at one point where they had more players that were more active, like when they had Landon Donovan and Dempsey and all of these guys that were in their prime. So right now they got a bunch of younger guys. Pulisic is their main star, but he's what, like 19? What is he, 20?
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, I would have to say that Mexico would be the under, which should not be considered the favorite when they play the U.S. And I'm not, there's no expectation that's going to be a win. I think that's a 50-50 game at best for Mexico, and it has nothing to do with what they've shown in the Gold Cup. I mean, it's just games against the U.S. are always 50-50.
Yeah, that's how a lot of these games always play out. Very and especially we've seen when Mex had even more when they had how do you say it? They would have more talented squad
Mhm.
and they would still suffer against more modest US teams.
Right.
Uh, so it's kind of the same right now.
Well, I mean, for the longest time, and I'm not sure, if things have changed or not, but for the longest time, the U.S. was in Mexico's head, and they just, they were there for 10 years, and it wasn't until the 5-0 game that was in the Gold Cup where that changed, because that was a new generation of players, and they just, that
Was,
whole thing just went away.
was that one before the 4-2?
Yes,
Oh, with Aguirre, right? The five
right.
zero with Aguirre, and that's when Bella had. Geez, Bella really
That
went
was
to town.
when yeah, Vela and Giovanni both just had like the game of their lives. Just unbelievably just
Yeah, we were
killing.
like, this is the generación de oro they were talking
Gringo
about.
Castro scored a game in that game. He scored because
He
Vela
scored.
set him up
He
beautifully.
did.
Yeah,
He did. It was a nice run. It's a nice goal from El Gringo. Made us forgive his dreadful passing
that's right.
crosses, I should say.
That's right. Yeah. So, and ever since then, Mexico's actually done really well against the U.S. In Gold Cups and in qualifying. I think the U.S. has only beaten Mexico since that game once, and that was in 2013. Qualifying at home. That was the game after Chepo was fired.
That's right. That's right. It was under Tena.
Yeah.
There's a bit turmoil there. The team was in shambles.
And Chaco started the game. Chaco Jimenez started the game.
Yeah. What a bad run there. That team, it's a case study, John. I would do my dissertation paper on that
You
because
know,
it started
that would
so
be a
promising.
dissertation that I would. No, I mean, how can anybody? How could any Mexico fan not think that that team was destined to at least make the semifinals in a World Cup, the way that they were playing, and not just how they were playing, but the fact that they were doing it at what
Yeah,
21, 22,
they had and the whole program was the way it was set up and with the coaches because they had Tena
right?
and that was the Olympic team that won the medal and the plan was to combine the Olympic a lot of the youth
You know where it went.
into
You know where it
into
went to hell. Where the beginning of the end was
uh,
in Quito
where
when
oh
when Nestor threw the team under the bus in Quito.
oh no, come on, John, come on, we're going with that again.
Yes. Do
No,
you
that
honestly?
didn't.
These guys are
No,
professionals. What on earth are you? Why on earth are you going to treat them like a bunch of babies?
that had nothing to do though with the team falling apart because that was the youth team that went there, and then what happened was
You
that
remember when they
they
asked Conmebol, "Hey, we need to change the roster," and Conmebol was like, they're laughing. It's like, "Are you kidding? You guys are actually going to suspend players because of this?" They were laughing at him, laughing at him.
I know, but I'm gonna say what happened to the listeners. So a lot of the Mex players had their stuff stolen from their hotel room, and they filed a complaint, and they checked the cameras. So they had a sexy party with a lot of escorts, and I guess they helped themselves to the iPads
Clean
and
them out.
whatnot.
Well, here's here's
And
here's the big mistake that they made. Don't send your quejas that your shit was stolen after you
yeah,
do something like that. You
yeah. But this the important thing is this was a youth team. As CONCACAF
It was
forced
it was
Mex
it
to
was
send a
it was
youth
a
team.
youth team only because there was a U in front of the name. These were professionals, and they
No,
had
no, I know what I'm saying, but this wasn't like Mexico's main squad. So
no
then what happened?
because their main squad was in the gold. So the day of the Gold Cup final,
Yeah.
Mexico
So
this youth team played Ecuador and beat them in a friendly the friendly right before the Copa America was supposed to start.
well, the thing is that there was a section, and I think Tata's gonna get to this. He's gonna confront this sooner or later, because this is just a reality with the Mexican team. So one of the things that they wanted to do with the Federación, at least a section of the Federación, they wanted, they didn't want the players doing this type of things during a tournament. They thought it was detrimental, and they were trying to put a stop to it. So it did backfire because later on with the whole Vela refusing to get called up for one of the
Yeah,
parties where
and
he
why
got singled out.
exactly. See
But
what
I'm gonna say something.
so I always if you want to circle back, we circle back again to Nestor because
Yeah, but
Nestor
he was gone.
ridiculous
Yeah,
this his
but he was gone. So it's not like Vela could say this guy did it.
yeah,
You know.
but he poisoned the well. So
Yeah, but
that's why
it
you
was.
agree with me a few weeks ago when we
I,
said that
I,
Nestor de la Torre was the reason why
yeah, but I
Mexico
think you're
underachieved in
blaming him too
the
much because it wasn't a sole decision. It was a group decision. He didn't just brought it upon himself. He took it to the commission and he said we should do this, and a lot of people
yeah, but
agreed.
all those guys ever do is they just do what's recommended to them. They don't ever like, oh, if that's what you
No,
want to
no,
do.
but I'm saying, but to blame Nestor is a bit
Oh, I blame him
much
100%.
because
Look at that. You should
he
as well.
left.
You
Yeah,
should
but
come
he
to the
left. Even after he left, Bella didn't want to return.
Pero lo dejó mal, but that was also because the brother was there.
Well,
No,
even after the brother left, he
one
didn't
one
want to.
one
He didn't want to
one.
return, not even under Piojo. So there was a lot of
Yeah,
people there
because it
that,
was just the smell, the De La Torre smell
yes,
was still at
but
the feet.
just to blame that, there was a lot more things that
Oh,
happened
I blame Nestor 100%.
because going into the hexagonal, you had a couple players that they had been
In fact,
really good.
when you write your dissertation, Joel, I want you to make sure that you interview me so that
No,
you cover you
not
cover
going.
you
Too
cover the
biased.
cover the Nestor. No, I won't be biased at all. I will bring the facts.
No,
and and
because you're
and
not.
and, 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 and I will look at the circumstance
You You
They
were
know.
you couldn't even name me the other guys that were in agreement with punishing the youth. But I'm saying, look, this is all I'm gonna say. It's gonna happen under Tata, and I'm curious to see how he handles it. Because it happened a bunch more times. Happened in Brazil. It just keeps happening. It
Do you
happened
think
before Russia. It
here's my
had.
is this really something to as a fan to worry about? To think like
It's yes and no.
it's like a contributing
It's
cause.
not. It's not like an easy answer because, as we've said it before, there are players that could deal with it. There are players that could easily do that, party all night, show up on game day, and have the game of their lives. And then there are players that just can't do it. That their
Yeah,
careers, we've seen what happened to their careers.
the
Look
players
what
know
happened
that.
to Gio.
But the
Look
players
what
know
happened to Gio. His career down the drain for partying too much. So much talent, and it's been ruined. We saw like in Tottenham, he just got in there, still won, hasn't been able to win a spot. And there's pictures of him being dragged into a car because he's too shit faced to walk. So I mean, there are just players that are just they can't handle it, man. So it ends up affecting them. There was a story that came out recently for Barcelona, and they're talking about why they got rid of like Ronaldinho and I think it was Deco, and they were saying that because Barcelona that those guys were partying too much, and they didn't want him influencing Messi. It's like get them out of here, man.
So I'm not going to lie, Joel. The refereeing tonight was Qatari. They're from Qatar, however you want to pronounce it. And aside from missing that penalty there at the very end, the refereeing was actually decent, very decent. No complaints.
I agree. I throw, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Yon. Ref.
But I mean, but to your other point, I mean, I know that you and Chiquis both feel like there has to be some sort of uh what I've always talked about, like they have to be choir boys, Boy Scouts.
No, that's an extreme. That's an extreme.
Well, that's what people want. They don't want they want them to be in a bubble and not do not have any contact with the outside world other than what they
No, see,
obligations
that's too
and
much.
then go play the game because they're that's
That's too much, man.
so they are allowed to have a personal life. That they are allowed to make.
One thing is a personal life, another thing is you're going crazy in the middle of a tournament. Like you're not concentrated, and that's what I'm saying again.
Do you think that they're the only team that does that in a World Cup?
Yeah, but I don't care about the other teams
Okay.
because I just care about Mex, and I'm saying like you could point to Holland or whatever, but
You
those
should
teams have been
you should
successful.
read
Mexico
you
has
should
not
read
been successful.
the West Germany and Spain stories, man. They are
Yeah,
hilarious.
but you're talking about teams that are at a whole other level, man. Doesn't even compare. It's like
But
we're
why should
nowhere
it?
near that
But why
level
should it?
because sometimes if you're not that strong, you need to go that 110%. You're spending that other percent,
Dude,
you
Mexico
know.
usually goes to 120%. Sometimes it's not good enough. So you know what? You know why? They're having a good time.
Well, that's
It
to each
happens, it
their own,
happens.
man. That's their mentality.
If it happens, it happens.
Well, I always had this. I remember back in this was '99. I'm going that far back, and it was the under 20, I believe.
That was back on days when we used to watch the television out of a gigantic box that was heavy.
Well, Mex eliminated Argentina, a very talented Argentina, and they went and they partied. They went and they went crazy, and they partied. Their next match was against Japan.
Uh-huh.
Japan wiped the floor with them. Japan goes on to play the final against Spain, and they just got like demolished. This was the Spain that have, I believe, both Javi and Iniesta. But that should have been Mexico's game.
Right,
And
because
if you
they
would have seen
played.
Mexico during the tournament against Japan, they looked so bad. Like those dudes couldn't even run. They looked like Haiti after 120 minutes. So to me, that always left a big impression. And I remember the report came
Well,
out
you know
where
what?
I'm saying,
I'm going to say if these guys are teenagers in a youth tournament, then yeah. But professionals, I mean, really,
Well, yeah, but if I'm paying you to do something,
But that's the thing is that they're not getting paid. How many of those guys were actually professionals?
yeah, but they're representing la camisa. I mean, I'm not
Did you
saying
do you
players
remember? Do you
and
remember when
everything.
you were 19 years old?
Not so long ago,
Yeah.
John. I
Do you
don't.
remember what if presented? We would say that we're what country, whether like in Holland or whatever it is. Hey, there's going to be a bunch of Dutch hotties at this party. They want to celebrate with us because we beat Argentina. ¿Qué vas a
I
hacer,
wouldn't.
güey? ¿Qué vas a hacer, güey?
I'll wait till the tournament's over. 'Cause there's going to be more parties. That's not a one and off. It's not like once in a lifetime. You better come tonight or it's never happening ever again. Type of Haley's Comet every 70 years it appears. Those parties are all the time, especially when those guys with the money they have access to that, uh, 24/7.
He's
So
not a messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
personally, I would just wait. I would just wait to the end. But
Yeah.
on that note, Yon, it's pretty late for me.
Let me just give you a couple of stories before we knock off here on the CantinaMX podcast. First one is I have a good friend of mine who works here as a cameraman here in Austin, and he was a diver, and he was a good one. He had a chance to make. He was on the Olympic team in 1980, and they got boycotted, so he ended up not being able to go to the Olympics. I don't know if you know the name Carlos Giron. Have you ever heard
I
that name?
probably heard the name, but I don't.
Probably Mexico's most famous diver. He and Carlos Giron are good friends. Like they competed against each other. And then he says, like, well, we say hi to each other on Facebook, which is about, as good as you can get these days. Anyway, uh, he was telling me that before big meets, like world championships and stuff like that, the Russians would come by and with vodka, and they would want to party all night, but the Russian bottle of vodka wasn't vodka; it was water. And he said that the Chinese guys would do that too. They would always spike their quote unquote liquor with water so that they wouldn't get as hammered as the other guys. Just cracked me up. So
Damn.
and then the second one was at the Copa America. We used to when I was we used to do reports on the radio station with Dr. Zeta because my friend
Oh,
and Dr. Zeta know each other for years, so he would do a report for us
I remember the good Dr. C.
from Venezuela. Good guy. I like Dr. Zeta's a good guy. Jesus Zambrano. He's just an extremely approachable guy. I love that about him. And so he talks about all the stuff, and then the reports over the same. Hey, we ask him, hey, what's really going on? And he goes, oh my God, man, because the partying is insane. Like they go to casinos every night, and just like it's like it goes on to like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Damn.
Yeah. So don't think that it doesn't happen at every tournament with
No,
every.
no, I'm saying I know it happens, but to me, it's like you're in a position of you're the type of team that you need to be more concentrated. You need to put more effort, as opposed to like party like the big boys when you're one of the big boys, not before, man.
Right.
Wait till you get there. Wait till you get there first. Don't do it. And because I'm saying, because like, again, I'll say it. There are players that could do it and players that can, and like players that get caught, and then it ruins like their family situation. Like you had
Well,
Ache who had to
well,
fly to Portugal to go, iron things out with the
men's
wifey because pictures came out of him
right.
in a party with a bunch of hookers.
Well,
So I mean, something.
but again, that's those are decisions that they make, and they have to live with the consequences.
No, but that's why. Like to me, it's like why would you want that for the player going into a tournament? You know, and I saw like going into the World Cup. It happened twice to England and to France. So they both were caught with like I think France they had like an underage hooker.
Right, and they made
It
the
was
final.
like an escort, huh?
And they
No, it
made the
was
final.
before that. They didn't even get out of the group stage.
Oh, is that the one in 2010? Well, they had a whole bunch of
Yeah,
others. And that whole team was a mess.
Yeah, that one, and they were defending champions,
I
and
mean,
then
how lucky is it for Mexico that they're playing France, right? And Mexico again, they're not world beaters. They believe it or not, they can be beaten. And the coach leaves Thierry Henry on the bench the whole game. It's like, thank you, coach, because Thierry
yeah,
Henry scored who knows how many goals against Mexico.
yeah,
Just shocking decision after shocking decision with that guy.
yeah, and another one happened with England. Remember one of their main strikers? There was that whole desmadre. I don't know if he slept with
Well,
one of the teammates' wives or
oh
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
no, it was John Terry and Wayne Bridge, yeah.
So I
Well,
mean,
remember that happened. That happened with Mexico too. That's probably the biggest reason why Aaron Galindo never came back. Because at the
with
convention, at the
with Rafa
confession,
Marquez's wife, right?
yeah,
But he probably had been cheating on her,
yeah. But
and she's like, I'm gonna get even."
apparently Rafa walked in on it. Is the report that I heard.
I know in Carmona he was
So
roommates with Carmona. So
so
speculation.
what a
Carmona
shock!
was also there
What a shock that those two ended up getting tested positive.
for clenbuterol, right?
I can't remember what exactly. I can't remember what it was for, but they yeah. So
He got booted, never
I
to
mean,
be seen again.
it's and I mean, it happened. It happened to the U.S. So I mean, talk about a team that was devastated. Like remember when John
Yeah,
Hart's not only like he went from being the captain to like kicked off the team and not even going to France. From
yeah,
one day to
it's
the
with
next, and it turned out
Ronaldo, right?
well, wasn't he having an affair with Ronaldo's wife, and that's why they had to get
Yeah,
rid of him. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. It affected them, and what also affected them was because this is the opposite. This is where I say because the extreme. Why I agree with you to some extent, John, because Samson he put them off in you know he separated the team and he had them like almost reclused up in the mountain somewhere.
right.
So and it did that just I knew Samson, he was a good dude, man. I know he meant well and it backfired.
Honestly,
Such is life.
I thought he was one of their best coaches.
Yeah,
And
he was. He
when
got
when,
some
when you,
good results.
yeah, and when you find out, because people say, well, what happened to them in that world? When you find out that that's what happened in that World Cup, where you had the guy that had been your leader for 8 years or whatever it is in Harks, have that happen to that team. It was I'm sure that was just completely devastating to everybody.
Yeah,
It's like
and to Samson's credit, he never made excuses.
no,
He never threw no one under the bus. That came out later through the players.
yeah,
Well,
I like him and I like Bob Barrow too. I think they've been
oh yeah. Well, Yon, ahora sí,
all right,
confirmo.
Joel. Well, thanks for hopping on. I know that
Always,
I don't know if we're gonna be on Thursday since it's the 4th of July. I think everyone's gonna be wanting to watch
that's
fireworks.
true. They're gonna be watching fireworks.
So Mexico's in the final. They'll play the winner of the U.S. Jamaica match. You can't
When
really.
is this final, John? No, I said on Sunday. When are they playing?
It is on Sunday, and I think it's at night. I think it's like at 6 o'clock
Okay.
local here.
Hopefully we could do a in-match pod.
So let's take a look here before you go away. We'll type up in the device and see when La Final will be. Sunday at 8 o'clock at night. So it'll be the nightcap of the day. So we'll have the Women's World Cup final between the U.S. and which I think is either Sweden or Holland, which I'm sure the U.S. will probably have no problem winning. And then we'll have the Copa America final, which will be Brazil in either Peru or Chile, probably Chile. And then the Gold Cup final between Mexico and the winner of the Jamaica U.S. match, which again is a 50-50 at this point. CONCACAF is turning into that parity league, Hoyle. It's there's a lot of 50-50 games.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, glad you're on, Hoyle. Hopefully we'll try and do something with the final on Sunday night.
Okay, John.
And thank you very much for joining us, and thank you the audience for hanging with us. And again, you can listen to this podcast. You can download it from iTunes or Google Play. And we're on a whole bunch of other services for podcasts. If you subscribe to one of those, you can certainly subscribe to our podcast. And you can also listen to us live usually every Thursday, but we do special editions as well. My name is John Jagu for Joel Aceves. This is the CantinaMX podcast. We'll talk to you guys again next time.